Okay, okay. So last time I was working on just getting some networking stuff done. And I've decided that I am actually going to go ahead with making helper functions. So that way I don't have to uh rewrite the same piece of code multiple times. So let's see, a header at 0x10 is the packet type. Now I want to have a checksum at the end. It will be a very simple thing. It will contain a check of all the bytes, and then it will have that check, but exclusive ORed with a mask of uh 65,535. Since these are 2 bytes each, I decided that they're 2 bytes each. Then it will also do multiplication version of what it checksum is, just so that way there's a bit of a different strat. Because I'm like 99% certain that if you go ahead and take 6 plus 5, it's not the same as 7, or sorry, 6 times 5, it's not the same as 7 times 4. Something just tells me that. So with a single bit flip, you would probably get different results on all of these, but with 2 bits being flipped, 1 to 0 and 0 to 1, uh, meaning that it would have the same thing, then uh, you might see, especially if they're in the same position, you might see a same checksum, but you should see a different check product, right? In any case, auto helper or auto header should be helpful. Actually, going to add another function here. All right, I actually don't have a function definition for these 2 things, so until I actually make these 2 things, it's just how it's going to be. Then let's see, selections, selections. Hmm. Was it selection 3? Right. Stage 3. What was stage 3? All right, it's this. Isn't there something happened to send something back? Or was that in post game? Right, because I was working on putting together a player list. Remember, it's important to stay hydrated. Hydration brings you life. I mean, it can also take it away if you overhydrate, but don't don't do that and don't underhydrate. You'll be fine. Right, right. So I wanted to make a player list, and I figured out last time that I can. Hold on, let me just double check because I'm pretty sure there's something in here that I'd have. Okay, yeah, 0x01 needs to be changed for each object in the object list. Objects capital L S T dot at I dot get variables dot get. Right. So first thing, because we need to construct a player list. So uh, first we need our famous buffer of 500. Of course, it's not 32, it's 32 plus 1. Okay, so with this, I'm able to. First, I'm going to have to do this loop twice. I'm going to have to include all the information on it, so I'm going to pull all the information from it, and then I'm going to have to push a message through based off the gate, the not gate ID, the connection ID. It should compile, right? No, okay, of course not. Is it like a missing semicolon somewhere? Actually, first thing I want to do is I want to initiate this. I want to make sure that this buffer is well defined. Right. I think this is what it's referring to with the use this. Uint 16 to char star. Too few arguments to function. Will send message char. Uint 16. All right. I mean, it's not even going to be used, but it will absolutely stop compilation if it's not working. It will eventually be used. I will set it to activate. Active. Right. So what we want to do is we want to get from each object the player information. Hold on. I'm gonna double check what's in the connection object. Connection Foib. And not the sprite. The sprite is just basically for my own benefit. Dang it. No, I'm doing that. Alright, this. Player name, player char ID, connection ID, player number. Okay, so it's player number, not player ID. Player char ID, connection ID, player number. Player name, player char ID, connection ID, player number. Okay, first I'm also going to right. So then I can, after this, I'm going to net, no wait, hold on. So header, and then what is the 0x02? It probably won't compile, yeah. Auto header, okay, I don't know why it didn't, but I thought I had it wrong. Did I forget to put it in quotations? C++ uh slash nethelper.h. What did I get wrong? All right, you know what? This requires a bit more of an in-depth look. Oh, I already have it here. Yes, I would like to reload it. All right, nethelper.8 nethelper.c++. Right. Fair enough. That was on me. All right. All value required. Okay. Also on me. I don't know why I put two equals there, or even that there. Hopefully it all works out now. Nope. All right. So I'm forgetting a semicolon somewhere. Where it is? Where is it? NetHelper 26.1. 26. This should be it. This should be it. I say that, but every time I say that, I fail. Fail just one more time. Did I not? Okay, I guess I may have succeeded in this one. All right, now time to go back in. Okay, so now we have auto header doing this for us, so we don't have to watch out a bunch of things. Okay, so why do I have that there? Right. So from what point? So x 0 16 plus 0 32, if I remember correctly. Uh, plus n times 20. I'm gonna need a calculator for this. Okay, I guess that was obvious. So 48 plus uh, I plus or times 20. That is our base offset. 0x00 is player ID, which is correct here. 001 is a char ID. So, right, I probably should go ahead and do checks on name size. I think what I'm going to do is for things like copying bytes over and then having a buffer of either 0 or non-zero bytes, I'm going to make a function for it to make things easier on myself. Oh wait, hold on. For a wait, hold on. 0x0, 0x01, 0x02 to 0x0b is not available. Okay. 0x01 is player char ID, if I remember correctly. Is it player char ID or am I getting that incorrectly? Player char ID. Okay. Actually, I need a reserve. I need to reserve the first entry for the host. Okay, but this is correct so far. So I'm going to go into net helper and uh, this will give me the buffer at the position where I should start copying, the string that I should copy into the buffer, and of uh, the length in bytes that I have reserved for copying over. This function will go ahead and either copy bytes over or set those bytes to 0 up until it hits the maximum number. So for uint 16 underscore t is equal to 0, or rather uint 16 underscore t I is equal to 0. I is less than max I plus plus if uh, wait, hold on, I have to give this a name. Data that size is greater than or equal to I, then we do one thing, else we do another thing. Buffer I is equal to 0x0. I believe this means that if you have an empty string, it will just start copying zeros. I can see some tasks fail. Con ID was not declared in this scope. Right. Suppose that's fair. Uint 16 underscore t connection ID. All right, there's a semicolon expected somewhere, and it might be. Yeah, I know where it is. It's in here. Actually, right there. I believe this is correct. I'm going to save that and try this again. Express expected primary expression before equals token. Okay, let's see. What line? What line? 43. 43. That is understandable. That is on me. All right. So now, copy string char buffer. That's declared and then defined here. I think that means I can just use it now. Hopefully there's not too many errors. Right. 0x00. So then 0x0c is whatever 0x00 is plus 0x0c. Okay, that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense, but 0x. Right, I don't need to actually type that. 0, 48 plus c, 54. Plus I times 20. That is the buffer. The string is going to be got. The maximum, oh right, the maximum is 0x14. If I remember correctly, that's actually 20x. There we go, it's 20. Wait, do I have that accounted for? I do not have that accounted for. Okay, 0x20. 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 Because otherwise it would have taken the decimal value. Should be correct. Let's try it out. And it's not even that long before it starts failing. It's probably because I forgot the semicolon. There's probably also another reason. Invalid conversion from char to char. Char start, right, okay, so. Right. That's what needs to be done. Basic string char. Not very much of an error, but let's see. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Yes, let's reload it. Could not convert objects list. All right. Okay. Okay. Dot to locale. Is it just gonna work? I think it just works. Okay, I was not expecting that. I'm just gonna cast it because I don't trust it to not be something giving me weird results. I should be fine. Oof. Okay. Right, so this should go ahead and give me a message that is cleared out, then has its header set, then iterates through everything, then sent. The only problem is there is a distinct lack of uh, the host. So I'm just gonna take the code, spill it out here, and I'm going to do something like this. This should give me it will fail because there's no variable I, but it should give me the uh, the offsets I need, and I need to check what's in global variables. Modify global variables. So let's see, it would be name, char ID, and is that it? I believe that might be it. Player name, player ID, char ID, and name. Well, player ID and char ID or sorry, player ID is going to be a constant one, and char ID and name are going to be got. So let's see. We need networking dot something. Networking dot test mode. No, that's not the variable we need. Char ID and host player name and host char ID. Right. Uh, at that point, right, I can take networking.host char ID and substitute I think it's just a drop in like this. No. Okay. I was about to ask, will this succeed? No, no, it will. Probably because it still relies on this. Will this succeed? Hmm? Hmm? Not immediately failing? There we go. All right, so this should go ahead and get the hosts char ID and player name, put them into a buffer, get the other players' information, put them into the buffer, and then finally send out all of the information, whilst also changing this particular byte to the player number of the person receiving it. Thus, allowing each player to know which one they are. Okay, how much time did I spend on that? That is a lot of time that I spent on that. You know what? I think I want to do this. It shouldn't be too hard, actually. So, for uint 16t, I equals 0. I is less than 500. I plus plus. And let's encapsulate that in what is syntactically required. These are going to be set to 0. I'm also going to I checksum and I check prod for the inverted. Actually, you know what? A neat trick that I can do is I can just invert the checksum and check products at the end. So all I have to do is checksum equals checksum plus uh, unit 16 buffer at I. That will add all of that together. Then for the other thing, the check product, I just multiply instead. Now, I feel like it would be redundant enough to just have two checksums that must be equal to each other. But, mm, I don't know. I feel like this is a neat, slight change. I don't know. Forgive me, this is like the first time I did anything with networking. It isn't exactly my field. Previous versions of Murder Bros just use like this, and that's deprecated, if that's how you pronounce that word. So I guess I gotta write my own because I also don't want to have people need to port forward because really only one person in a friend group knows how to do that. And thus, I may have to rely on someone knowing how to port forward, but I don't have to rely on everyone to port forward. So it's really not that hard. Okay. I don't know what the operator for exclusive or is. Boolean operator. And XOR. Okay, XOR is the up caret. Now, this is entirely useless until I put it in. Which, since I don't have a return, might be entirely. Hold on. Sorry about that. Uh, let's see. Right, so this should give me the inverse, and then I want to actually add that to the buffer. Actually, I should go ahead and take notice of how that'd be. So that would be 8 bytes minus 500, which is 492. I'm gonna double check that because I'm not confident in my math. I was correct. All right, so 492, 493, 494, 495, 496, 497, 498, 499. Yeah, that checks out. This would be the upper 8 bytes. So what is it? Left shift or right shift? I can't remember. Uh, all right, let's take a look. She takes two numbers, right shifts. So the number. Let's take n equals 32, which is 1,000. 100,000 in binary form. Now, if n is shifted by to the right, become hold on. Unsigned char a equals 5, b equals. Okay, yeah. All right. I know what I need to do. It's that for the upper 8 bytes and the lower 8 bytes. Then after that, we have the inverted checksum. Then that would be at 494, 495. Then we need a check product. Which also needs to have it. So now we should have these values put into the buffer. I'm going to test if that compiles. It does not. Unit 16 was not declared within the scope. It was valid because that's not a valid type. And here's where I used it. I actually used it twice. Oh, no errors? No errors. All right. I'm going to start using that. Actually, I have to put it in here so that way the message is valid. That won't be valid, so it will stop compiling almost immediately because I don't remember what the auto footer checks. Auto header. We put it there. I believe that's the only operator. All right, we still have to remove that. That should compile. There we go. Right. 9 minutes to go. So that should give us all of the information we need. And in host game, we should be expecting it. Right. So we should really have a validity check. This will tell us that the connection is valid, though I'm going to also take this and set it to 0 right here. So that way, if it doesn't actually get to this point, that is, if it returns earlier, then we'll know that it's not a valid connection. Pop out. So we want to test if valid is set, which is networking valid. And working.valid. Then we want this to go on to stage 4, but otherwise, actually, you know what? I'm just going to set that up here. And if it's 0, then we'll just say it's not valid. Or is that, no, not that, that it's not active. Global string. Right. Okay, so yeah, this only runs if it's. I just thought that maybe it would only run if it was connect stage 0 and connect, but it's checking this before it checks the stage. Ooh. It is actually pretty warm in here. Right, but in any case, we're at stage 4. We should be waiting for a player list, or maybe actually we can't have that. We need to actually make another C++ code event, and within it, C++ working H. And because I'm not going to want to make more code for myself, then we just include the things necessary. And so we should either wait for a player list or a map query map sideload init, and we need to define a map download init, or just a map download. Okay, so right, player list, map query, or map sideload. Though we should always have a map query before a map sideload, or even a map download. So uh, actually, I'm going to put in net helper for another thing, which is a check header. All right, it's 2 minutes. I'm probably not going to get to the point of testing this. If I'll just copy this. Actually, we do need to receive a message. I think this is about it that I can do. Okay, we still have a minute. I can work a little bit. So at this point, we want to check the header. So then once we check the header, uh, we check what the pack type is. So I don't know. Where is it in the 0x10? It's gonna be it for me. Just 10 seconds left. I don't know, maybe look up something. Player lists 02. All right, it's gonna be it for me today. So thank you if you were watching the stream. Thank you if you watched later on YouTube. It's gonna be it for me. So until I see you again, this is goodbye.